welcome back to Jacob's Toys 5-minute figure reviews. Please do like, share, subscribe and all of those things. All support to the channel is very much appreciated. So in this video we are taking a look at the Marvel Legends Eternals DRUIG figure from the upcoming Marvel Studios movie The Eternals. Now DRUIG is obviously played by the Irish actor Barry Keoghan. Now you may recognise him from Dunkirk, and he is obviously playing DRUIG in the Eternals film. Now the first thing that I want to say about this figure is on the back, unfortunately it looks like the red lines don't follow the design. Now this may be to do with the actual costume in the film, or it may just be like cutting corners in regards to producing the figures. I don't know, but the front of it obviously has a lot of red lines and the back doesn't. Now the first thing to take a look at is the head sculpt. The head sculpt is very good and definitely resembles the actor. You know who it is and which character it's supposed to be, and looks a lot like the artwork on the box. Now the figure is pinless, however he's got this long skirt kind of thing that does limit his articulation. There really isn't much give in that at all, so you are limited as to what you can do with the legs. However, the design of the costume does follow through on the legs, which is nice. They've not cut corners there and they've used kind of a sculpted leg. The arms are pinless, the legs are pinless, but this dress thing does limit the articulation. The other thing to note is that these shoulder pads also really limit the articulation. You can't actually move his arms past this pose, so they are pointing down. Obviously from his elbow you can move them around, and he does come with two alternate hands as well, which I didn't mention earlier. But you cannot actually move him around. So he's got very limited articulation in his legs and even more limited articulation in his shoulders, which is a shame. Now this costume is definitely screaming villain vibes to me, and if you're familiar with the comics, here's a spoiler for you. DRUIG is actually a hero turned villain in the comics, as he is very power hungry. Now the back of the box simply says that he can use cosmic energy to control the minds of others. He is aloof and powerful, but at times it is hard to determine whether he is a friend or foe. Now if we stand him here next to a couple of the other figures, you can see the colour palette used. The reds and the blacks definitely scream bad guy in comparison to the bright metallic colours of the other figures, the blues, the greens and the golds, etc. He's definitely got like a Hellraiser vibe about him as well. There's something about the kind of the floor length skirt and the kind of red swirly lines and patterns and stuff. It definitely screams Hellraiser to me. Obviously he's not, but I'm calling it now. We are going to see a villain turn in this film for DRUIG. I don't know how, I don't know what they're going to do with it, but I definitely can see that coming, and the figure definitely gives that away. Even just to the fact that he's got very limited articulation, you can't get him into kind of any real fighting poses. It's all very calm and kind of neutral looking. Now it's a shame because in the box this was one of the figures that I thought looked the best. However, getting him out, I'm a little bit disappointed that he really is as limited in his articulation as he seems to be. Apart from that, he looks really nice as a figure. He looks really cool, and for photography and for posing on the shelf, he really will make up a nice addition to the Eternals wave. But in regards to what I can do with him, I am very limited. It's a shame as well that because there is such limited articulation, they didn't add a little bit extra detail on the back, so with the red lines and stuff, maybe following them through the patterns of the suit. But yeah, I mean, all in all, he's not a bad figure. He looks nice. He's definitely going to look good on a shelf. He definitely resembles the actor. And as far as an Eternals figure goes, he's okay. Would I recommend buying him if you're not completing the wave? I don't know. Obviously he does come with the head of Gilgamesh though, so if you are building that builder figure, then this is definitely a figure that you need in order to do that. But yeah, I mean, all in all, he's okay. He's probably my least favourite that I've had a look at so far, just because of the limited articulation. But the face sculpt, the photoreal technology is better than some of the others, like the Selma Hayek figure, for example. So it's a tough one to call, really. I think if you were just going to go out and pick them up off the shelves and you're not building a builder figure, then you could probably get away with not having this one. But if you're collecting the waves, then obviously you're going to get him, and he's definitely one that's worth holding on to. I mean, even the picture on the box shows him in a very neutral vanilla pose with his arms behind his back. But with all that said, if my prediction is right and we are going to see a villain turn for DRUIG, then he is going to be one that you're going to want, and perhaps one that a lot of people will pass over, and he might become sought after later down the line when we've seen the film and we notice that he is actually a surprise villain in that film. So yeah, there's not a huge amount that I can say about this figure. I've dragged the 5 minutes out luckily, but there isn't a huge amount that I can say because of the limited articulation. So if you are enjoying the 5-minute figure reviews, then please do like, share, subscribe and all of those things. All support to the channel is very much appreciated, and do check my channel out for the other Eternals figure reviews. Catch you next time.